Okay, I figured I probably would just be better off videotaping this than getting my pictures and everything all uploaded. So this is the latest thing that I'm doing for my Series 3 VFF, third year in a row. I've come up with my Be My VFF, a little play off of BFF, Best Friends Forever, only I'm calling mine Valentine Friend Forever, or Valentine's Friends Forever. So anyway, I'd had a couple of ideas that I wanted to do. I thought maybe I'd do something Victorian and do some, one of my art cards this year, maybe with some more fabric and, free motion stitching. And then I kind of, because I've been doing this Zentangle lately, and what I've done is I've done a bunch of them and then I scanned them in. I took pictures, scanned them in, and then printed out a bunch of copies rather than, do every single card as a Zentangle. This way I got some repeat patterns. This one wasn't quite done either, but I might get it done tomorrow and then scan that in. And I don't know where, I think most of them are pretty much scanned in the machine now. But anyway, like I said, I printed them out, and then I've got my, a heart template here, and cut them out in the various shapes. This one here is actually the last piece there getting cut out. But what I did is I used real heavy 300-pound watercolor paper, and just kind of did a various, I had two big sheets, and I should have probably maybe have taken a video of it when I was first doing it. But I just did like a big collage type deal, but I didn't embellish a lot of things on the front. I just used basically paints and inks, and then some water-based inks, of course. And then what I did is I took I've got kinds of scissors over here. I took some fancy edged scissors. I got tons of these. These are great. And then I just scalloped the edges, or took a couple of different shapes. These ones here are the scallop. And then anyway, so I've got a bunch of these, and I cut them out to kind of go with this size of a card. And then even on some I even did I've done some colored ones too, because they're kind of cool. But I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is like a three-dimensional. I took some of the templates. I brought a bunch of templates and stuff from downstairs. There's another heart-shaped pattern there. And, some inks. I've got a bunch of the inks here. They tell you to store them upside down, that way the ink stays. So I got various shades of rose and pinks. I wanted to just keep it in that theme. And then, of course, I had some of the acrylic paint daubers. Some glues here and embossing. I actually use these. These are really cool. I've had these, I bet you 25, 30 years, dating myself, but they're Letraset, and we used to use them in the old days for drafting. And these would go into the title blocks and they'd rub off, much like the what we have today in the stamping department. Well, we were using them years ago in the drafting department for the headers and the title blocks and all of that when we were doing it. So I had also brought upstairs. I'm doing everything upstairs here today, but I put together my craft table here. This is nice because it's foldable, and I got my wonderful art lights there, so I just love them. But anyway, I brought up a bunch of embellishments just in case I'm going to do that on them when I'm done. And just mixing. I had some gel. I mixed some of the golden regular matte gel with a little bit of the white paint, white acrylic, and then I used a template to get this kind of a nice three-dimensional. And then I just kind of rubbed inks over top, and I also had these. These are a lot of fun. I have actually quite a few of those, the pigments, the mica powders and stuff, and then I rubbed them on. I was going to do some Versamark, but I also had these Fiskars templates. I was going to do some but I actually need the other part to that, you know, the top part. So anyway, one of these days. But that's the watercolor paper that I use. But this here, I don't know if you've ever seen these before. These are the stamp, the heat press stamp and reheat. You can make your own stamps, right? You just heat them up. So I bought a bag of those, and you heat them up and then you press them into an impression, right? So this was actually one of my texture plates here, and rather than get this all mucky and dirty, so they're see-through, but they're great texture plates that I use for my fabrics, right? When I want to do some surface textures on my pattern, on my fabrics. So anyway, you just heat this up and you press right down onto it, and then it comes back, and this will stay until I reheat it again. So I kind of use this big block one. You can still see there's some indentation there, but they say once you reheat it up again, then they're reusable. So I mean, I've had these for a while, and so they came in handy. And of course, these are texture plates too, the Fiskars, but I really just wanted them for you know, embossing or whatever at the time. So, you know, just various things. I've got my Inktense water soluble ink, and then of course my inks here, my Faber-Castell Pitt pens, and then of course, you know, some Stampin' Up. I had purchased these on eBay a little while ago, and I was so upset because I paid quite a, they're Shinhan Art International Incorporated, but it was the person I bought them off of on eBay. I supposedly got a good deal on them. I know I paid lots, but over half of them were dried when I got them. So, but I was really excited because they had a fine point and a wide point. Some of them are still okay, but anyway. But otherwise, I've been using the Staedtler Mars. This is what I use. The pigment liner. I don't know if you can see that okay. Permanent or pigmented archival acid free. And then of course good old Sharpie, and the Sharpie wide and the Sharpie here, because especially on this I didn't use these so much, only for maybe little bits of shading, but because the surface of this is so harsh, I even did a gesso on it to make to fill in some of the toothiness of the surface, but it really wears the pen nibs down, right? So I'd rather go out and spend money on an inexpensive Sharpie and toss that out, and that's how I got most of the lines in the, you know, I colored in a lot of the black. But don't you love the color? I said, well, I'm gonna do the color this time. Let me put some light on it here. Let's put a little bit more color. I'll put it under this light here, and it's really turning out a lot of fun, eh? I did intentionally do a butterfly rather than just you know, most of them there you can see over on the shelf there. I do them willy-nilly, or just do a bunch of lines and see what comes out of it. This one was a little bit more controlled, but this here, I don't know if you can see, but it's actually stacked writing in mixed media and collaging and stuff. And you know, these are some of the techniques just to get kind of a really cool effect. Like I actually even did it on this here part, right? You can kind of get a really cool effect when you're doing some collaging and stuff like that. Nice. This is a nice paper to work with, but it's got some toothiness to it too. The watercolor paper, it's not that smooth. I need to get the cold press. This is hot press. But this here is called stacking. So what I did is I just wrote first, the first layer down here was in black pen, and it was just random thoughts and words and everything, and I just followed that all the way up. And then I turned it, and I did 90 degrees from that. I wrote with just same thing, random words, some I repeated some. And then when that was all said and done, then I kind of turned it, what's this one? This is probably on, well, you can see the angle the red's on. So it was like this, right? They're like this, then like this, and then like this. But boy, I really like the effect. It's got quite a pattern to it. So, and then of course, you know, some cool little, and then this, you know, filling them in. So it was just a lot of fun. I really like how this one turned out. And little bird, these are my little branches with my little bluebirds. You know, you'll see me do a lot of the eyes. I love to do a lot of the eye shapes and stuff. And I love the spiral. It's, you know, it's a sacred geometry, right? So anything that has to do with spiritual. So this is the beginning of a little series that I'm doing. So these are this year's BFS, and the theme on these are gonna be Zen tangles. And I've already come up with my copyright saying on the inside, and one of them or two of them or whatever, they're gonna say, "You are the Zen in my tangle of life," something along that line. I know. I think I put it on the blog too. So anyway, that'll be fun. But my intention though is to do mandalas. I've done mandalas in my felting and fiber art, but I'd like to take it to the next level and do actual Zen. They call them Zendalas. Somebody's already coined the phrase where Zen tangles made into a mandala. But only I'm going to incorporate the chakra colors in with mine as well. So there'll be the chakra, mandala, Zen tangles. So it'll be a real meditation. And I don't know, maybe I'll just do them a little bit bigger than a hand, you know, so that you can kind of just hold it in your hand when you want to do your meditation. So it just helps you focus. The colors are excellent for chakras. You can move through your chakras as you start to get into your meditation. It all works together. It's all for the good. Anyway, that's it. I think I'm up to 10 minutes, but you can see my little messy here just for my little collages. And then, of course, I always buy the recycled papers for that as well. So that's one card. It's kind of blah. I don't know what else I'm going to do with it. I know I'm going to do some more letters here, and then I'm just going to print out and do a top tape on that. Just keep it simple on the inside, and but just maybe embellish a little bit more. But I mean, I like it, but it's not really popping out at me yet. So that'll happen tomorrow because it's really late. Ciao.